Been trying to work with these things for a long time. I think for the past 10 years. Things have got to match up differently. I've already been experimenting with these things for the past couple days. You know, fitting them together. Trying to see what's going to match, what doesn't. Got to make a nice piece, maybe two. I thought about wall sconces. Futuristic looking wall sconces. How about that? I've done it before, but I had to destroy the object because it didn't work out. Yeah. These need to be a little bit more symmetrical. Abstractly, that is. Yeah. They've already been washed in the dishwasher. A couple of stickers got to be peeled off. Whatever. Artwork is coming along quite nicely. Been staying in trying to work on that thing. Dang, look at that. Gee. Let's hope I have enough pieces. But there's another 55 or 60 sitting inside the closet that you just saw. But these are matching, which is what I'm looking for at the moment. So I can play around with them. Looks like I have a little bit more cleaning to do. We got some random cobwebs inside. Probably take 30 minutes just to figure it all out. But I've still been working on a few things. Oh boy. This one's ready to go. Just can't paint it because of humidity outside. Yeah, that one's done. But I'm having some issues with some other pieces. I am. What am I looking at? This one's taking forever. Think I need to start piling the crates in the studio. But the whole entire place is the studio. It's always been like that. Yeah, dang. Gotta play around with the olden things again. Put them together. Like it was a long time ago. Just got finished spray painting that. Gotta figure something out. Yeah, but that piece right there is going to take another 2 or 3 months. I'll be early spring by the time I figure that thing out. Because I made a big discovery of the things I used to do a long time ago. When it came to this kind of stuff. Made a big mistake, but I didn't waste a lot of spray paint or anything like that on this. I used to always cover things up like this with the plastic stuff. It's a little expensive, it is, but I used to do it all the time to cover up the seams. So it makes it look like it's one solid object. So basically I would build the foundation and then cover it in plastic and then shave off the edges till it formed a nice perfect joint or perfect corner and then spray paint it. Yeah, nice and even. It's not done yet. I gotta finish cutting it up a little bit and then shave off the edges. It's going to take about 3 hours just to do that, just to get it right though. I'm talking about every single edge has got to be shaved off with a razor blade. That's why you see all the white stuff. Because I started on it last night. It's not the cleanest thing to do either. All over the place. Yeah, but once you get the corners nice and tight and you spray paint it, it looks like the corners are absolutely perfect, like it's one solid piece. Yeah, my bad on this. I should have known this from the beginning when I started on it, what I was looking for. And then I have to do the same thing to all the other extensions. Talk about taking a while. Yeah, but I can't spray paint it until the humidity's down outside. Thank the Lord for the rain though. But what was I working on? Oh yeah, this thing right here. I'm having big time trouble with this one. The piece itself is done. It is. This piece is finally finished. I had to trace out the edges with a chrome pen. One of those chrome painting pens or something like that I've always collected. Try to give it a nice effect. It took about 3 days to finish spray painting to get it just right, the nice metallic look I was looking for. And then give it the broken effect, like the interior is exposed on the outer edges. Nice looking piece, but I'm having big trouble with this one though, trying to figure out how to make it more artistic. Trying to finish it off. But it's all about the base, it's all about the foundation of it, to which this is supposed to sit on. I don't know what to do about it though. I've been thinking about it for the past 3 weeks. Can't find the perfect item. That piece of wood right there is the same exact size, which is not good. It's got to be a little bit bigger. And this one right here is way too big. Way too big indeed. That should just be something else. Used for something else. Most likely. But I had many ideas for this. I did. I don't know if I should just keep it simple and just get 4 or 5 square tiles or something like that from the tile place down the road, the flooring place, and then use that as some kind of base, but it's got to have extensions. I don't know if I'm going to use some kind of metal and drill holes at the bottom. I don't know. I got so many ideas for this though, and it's taking too long. I thought about trying to find a different kind of driftwood or something like that, sand it down, stain it, and then use my Dremel to cut little slits inside of it so I can place glass inside of it in a way that would be the hand. The little pieces sticking up to hold it would be shards of glass. I don't know. I have no idea why it's taking so long just to figure something out to make it perfect. Yeah, let me go ahead and work on something else at the moment. But there's something I got to do today. It's going to be clearing out about 2 o'clock. I thought about going to the gym, sweating it out a little bit. But then the clouds are going to be perfectly cleared out. Perfect clear sky coming up after about 3 o'clock, which means what? It's towards the end of December. Might have to run to the mountain for another time lapse. Sunset time lapse. Can't take a chance to wait to see what the weather is going to be like in 2 weeks or a week and a half. It might not be perfectly clear outside. But heck, we're approaching the shortest day of the year, which means what? Might not even get the sun in the image in the video because it's going to be at the lowest point, the furthest point. So it might not even be visible. Don't know until I go. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and work on this thing right here. See if I have enough to make 2 wall sconces. Well, it looks like it's going to work out quite nicely for us. Check it out. I haven't started putting these things together yet, trying to come up with an orientation or design yet. But I had to clean them up just a little bit with a knife, get out the little cobwebs, all that kind of thing, all this little pile of garbage, stickers and stuff like that. So we can spray paint it easily and mark them up quite nicely. Yeah. But we have 6 of this style right here, which is great. It's always good to be even, always good to be equal, if you catch my drift. Yeah. So you got 6 of these, and you have 4 of those, which means 2 of each of these are going to go and be intertwined with these things right here. more even than you could ever imagine. So we have one, and then one of those, and then one of these, one of those, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Let's keep on moving. Well, looks like we might have to cancel the trip to Stone Mountain to do the time lapse for December. Yeah, well, they keep pushing the forecast back. It's not going to be cleared out till after 5 o'clock, and the sun sets at 5:30. And it's not going to clear out by Douglasville, where the sun's going to be setting until about 6. Looks like we're going to have to miss it for this weekend. Let's pray the next weekend is going to be pretty nice as far as the sunset goes. A clear sky, hopefully, for Christmas. Yep. But anyway, it's a lot harder than I thought. It's been about an hour and 45 minutes. Only have 4 pieces put together. I don't think the sconces are going to work as far as 2 twins, individual pieces, matching, to hang on either side of a fireplace or something like that, or on the wall. Instead, I decided to make something else. Yeah. Well, it's coming along nicely, though. It is. It took me about an hour and 15 minutes just to figure out something. Trying to put the puzzle back together again. But I have to follow a set of rules. Well, more than just a set of rules. Let's say a few rules, that is. In a way where I can't take away the architecture from one piece unless I create depth within the piece itself to create more. If I take something away, I have to add it to something else. That's why they're staggered. That's why they're offset. Yeah. But I still have these pieces to go. If it took an hour and 45 minutes to do 4 pieces, wonder how much longer it's going to take for the rest of them. Not easy being me. For real though. But I guess it's just going to be one giant wall sculpture. Gotta paint it a certain color. And then trace out the lines like I always did. Trying to make it as abstract and architectural as humanly possible. Spiritually possible. Another set of rules. Nothing's allowed to be going in the same angle as something else. And I'm trying my best not to combine 2 of the same pieces next to each other. Unless it's turned differently. Where you can have 2 of the same objects right next to each other. Same styles. But they look totally different. Because of their angles. Totally missed doing this though. Glad I got back into it for the winter time until about March. Let me go ahead and pull these things up here real quick so I can try to figure these things out. This thing is going to be humongous. Thing's going to be about 5 foot wide, 5 by 3 maybe. Don't know. It's definitely going to be filling up the entire table. But I also have to make sure that these things are perfectly level. That they're not turned. That they're not angled terribly wrong. So that's why I have to find the flat edges. Let me go ahead and keep on going with it. Who knows what it's going to look like in the next couple of hours. Well, I'm having second thoughts about this being a wall sculpture or something that goes on the wall. I just made a big discovery, but I already knew it from about 10 years ago. That this has a flat edge right there and it can stand up. But I'm going to have to mount it to something. But instead of mounting on the wall, how about it stand up? Starting to turn out to be quite the piece. a little bit front heavy at the moment because I was building it to come outward. But I think it looks just right like that as it stands up. Save some time and money on this one. Still have 4 pieces to place on this thing. Need to even it out with the back side. Try to build more geometries within it. Spend about 3.5 hours. But if that's going to be the bottom right there, I'm going to have to build up. Fill out the voids. But not too much, that is. Maybe if, a couple on this side. But the last 4 pieces I have left are the same exact design, which is going to throw things off just a little bit though. Got to figure it out. Might be surprised later. Not quite done. Couple more pieces at the top. Maybe one on the right hand side. Well, it's finally done. Only about 3.5 hours later. For some reason, the room has turned completely blue in here. All I see is blue hues all over the place. Even though there's no blue sky. Hardly. Why is it so blue in here? I've seen that hue before. I have. We'll get to that in a different video. But it just happened the second I completed this thing. All I did was just glue on one last piece. And the second I looked up, everything would turn blue. The walls, everything. Started rubbing my eyes, thought I was seeing things. But then I remember something. Check this out. What do you think that looks like? I guess this is just what they wanted me to do a long time ago. Back in like 2010, 2011. But I couldn't get it right. It took months to make that thing, and I had to destroy it. Because it wasn't what they were trying to get me to make. What does that look like to you? I just now noticed this. And the balance is so perfect, it's standing all by itself. Futuristic tree of life. That's exactly what that is. One of a kind. All I gotta do now is just paint it. I don't think I'll paint it green. I gotta figure that one out though. Maybe they want me to paint it brown and green and all this other stuff. Maybe I'm supposed to cover the lines with brown or something. Paint it green. But that would look a little bit too tacky. Yeah, once I placed on the second last piece, I said to myself, it's starting to look like a family tree. And then it hit me when I laid this piece on. Stands on its own. Talk about perfect balance. Weird though. I don't even know how it's able to stand on its own, really. But they might say I know the truth, because it's the balance of the laws of nature. All I did was just glue the pieces together. What I felt deep inside, my soul. Took forever. Who knew it was going to take so long to glue pieces together to create something? And it's standing on its own. How about that? What colors, I don't know yet. Looks like I gotta make a trip to Home Depot to find a color palette. I don't know if green's the way to go. Just might be. And then cover the abstract lines with brown to represent branches and all. Cool object. I'm still gonna have to get a base for it though. Probably some fancy piece of lumber. Stain it, color it, whatever. Half a Sunday to create a futuristic tree of life. How about that? Finally created something. But it's not done until it's done. Let me go ahead and move on to the next piece. I just figured this thing out. I know exactly what I got to do with this thing. All right. So I got to figure out what color. No big deal. Maybe 2 or 3. But one thing I have to put inside of the squares and the rectangles, I have to put little mirrors. So you can see your reflections when you look at the piece at different angles. Almost every inset spot, I got to try to find a place to put square and rectangle shaped mirrors that you buy at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, those places. So when you're looking at the very mechanical, futuristic tree of life, you also see your own reflection. Genius. Who knows, it might take another 6 or 8 months just to complete. Talk about figuring this thing out. I figured this thing out while I was at the gym. Right here. Futuristic looking tree of life. Figured it out while I was on the elliptical machine. It's almost like I get some of my better ideas while I'm just working it out. Of the body. Working the body out. So these 2 pieces right here, this one and this one are supposed to be painted brown. The best side I can get them. And then it kind of just fades away on this side, right here. But then I have to paint the rest of the pieces green. But that's not where it ends. I gotta get different colors. It's gotta be multiple colors. It's got to be orange, yellow, red, green. So I got to spray the top level. All the top pieces green, straight on. But then I have to take the other colors. Orange, yellow, and red. Maybe scarlet if I could find scarlet. As far as spray paint goes. And I have to spray at a different angle. Like red being spray painted in this direction, right here. Then orange being spray painted down. Then yellow being spray painted in this direction. And then something else, spray painted upwards. Kind of like leaving this out of the equation here. Because that's supposed to be brown. And then after all that, after all those colors combined, take alcohol or something else that allows it to peel. Like all those times we go out and we find peeling paint that exposes the layers below to combine different colors in different angles and different perspectives. So you just don't see one single color at one angle. You see a combination of different colors. The peeling, the curling on top of each other. Huh. And then attaching the mirrors later. Yeah, it's going to take a while to finish. For real. It is. It's going to be nice when it's done, though. Looks like I'm going to have to spend some money on some spray paint. I'd say at least $40. Got to make this thing perfect. Got to make it right. Really. Let's hope it turns out the way I'm expecting it to turn out. Well, you know the routine. Let's go ahead and empty out the bag. Let's see what we collected today. Heck yeah. Perfect. Good day today. Here are the colors for our Tree of Life sculpture that we created last Sunday. These are going to be the colors for it, right here. Colors of the Tree of Life. A futuristic Tree of Life, that is. Got the brown tones right here for the base. The bottom 2 or 3 pieces. Kind of combine these colors right here. Matte finish. Very nice. Took me about 45 minutes to figure out the right colors. You can believe I was looking all crazy walking up to the checkout aisle with all this stuff in my arms. Yeah. Cool. Look at that. This thing is going to turn out real nice for us. It is. Got to use a black Sharpie. Some kind of black marker or something like that to trace out the lines as if it's shadowing in between the bark. The pieces of wood. Broken off pieces, whatever. You got to know how to create. Just as nature does. Nice colors in this. I know I could have chosen more, but I don't want to overwhelm the piece. But I don't want to keep just 3 colors. Got to figure out a way to go all out. Create the balance in a different way. From early spring through summer until the early fall, when the leaves start changing. But I still have a couple more colors I need to add that I already have in my collection. Got the bright yellow. Where's it at, by the way? It's in the living room. Sitting on the coffee table. The yellow. And then the bright red is in there also. I got a spray paint collection starting to accumulate on one of the tables in there. Yeah, to complete the colors, that is. All the way through fall. And then it circles back around to turn brown as the leaves fall off to the ground. Like I told you, it might take another 5 months to figure out how to make it perfect. Perfectionist. But it's coming together in my mind, it really is. Nothing wrong with that. Got to build a foundation. Can't wait to start working on it though. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. The matte finish with the gloss finishes. Who knows what this thing's going to look like when I'm done. But I'm not done yet. Getting the supplies, I got to find the mirrors for it. the final applications. Yep. Then I got to get a stand for it too. And also thought about creating some kind of piece at the bottom of it, like leaves that have fallen around the bottom of it. I got to figure that one out though. Cool. It's going to take a while. Got to start this weekend. See you later. Well, you know what? I just figured out that I got to do a check-in on this piece right here. I know it's not even finished. Hasn't been spray painted yet. Haven't had the time to spray paint it. But I went out today to try to find the right spray paint. I said I was going to spray paint it white. All the pieces I was going to spray paint white. That was a big plan. And stain this later to bring out the colors and geometries a little bit more. But I came up with a better idea. Something more modern in a way. I decided to paint these pieces chrome. That's the final decision, to paint them chrome. Because it would look more, futuristic, I guess. More modern. To have shiny objects of architecture and engineering appearing out of a piece of nature. So I went out today trying to find the chrome spray paint. And every place I went to was sold out because it's around the Christmas season. That's got to be it. I kind of figured they would sell out of the chrome spray paint because of the Christmas season. People out there, the creators, like creating art, crafts, all that kind of stuff, like to buy up the chrome metallic finish spray paint to spray paint things around Christmas. Good thinking, for real. I was hoping to spray paint this thing tonight, but it just hit me today like a ton of bricks that it's not even done. Of course they had plenty of white spray paint, but I think chrome would be better. What do you think? Would stand out more in a museum if you ask me. Bright shiny finishes. Every corner, every angle, every perspective, you see something reflecting. Within every piece of architecture and design, guided by nature, of course. But something just hit me when I was driving home. Another reason why I was thinking that they did not have any chrome spray paint. It's deep inside this thing. But it's not deep inside because it's non-existent. Imagine this. If this was supposed to be a true walk-around piece, shouldn't it be complete? At the moment, it's incomplete. Which means I gotta spend probably an entire weekend day filling out the void. So this has an opportunity to be a walk-around piece. Not a wall piece, but something you actually walk around and see where their architecture begins. Deep on the inside of nature. Comes from within. In other words, I have a long way to go with this one. I do. It's not even done. Thanks for showing me the truth. Thanks for keeping me from finding the right color. But I already found it. It's going to be chrome. Man. It's going to be a beautiful piece for real, though. Take another weekend to complete. Well, so much for the futuristic Tree of Life sculpture at the moment. Dang. I came in here to get something to eat. Lights were off. Forgot it was here. And I kicked it. Back to trying to put the puzzle back together again. Match up the spots where they used to go. Too bad it wasn't completed. So I can match up the lines. Took me 7 hours to figure this thing out, and it was perfect. Perfectly balanced. Let me go ahead and worry about this later. Well. You know, I had to try to attempt it. Got to do this thing right. Got to put the Tree of Life sculpture back together again. At least it's only 4 pieces. Thought it was the end of the world. After I kicked it down and broke it. After I forgot where it was. You can laugh at me all you want. You talk about being depressed. When this thing broke into 4 different pieces, I thought I was never going to be able to put the puzzle back together again. It took me 7 hours to put this thing together. To try to find the right balance. Boy, gotta be more careful with my things. Look at this. Found the first puzzle piece. Fits like a glove. Had to match up the colors, the tones, certain geometries to put the tree back together again. Found the first one. Let's hope it doesn't take 8 hours. Definitely got to be more careful with my things. Let's hope I can put the rest of it together successfully with no problem. You know, if you put one thing in wrong the first time, when you're trying to fix it, it might screw up everything. Let me go ahead and do this thing real quick, as quickly as possible. I don't want to be depressed anymore after Tree of Life fell apart. Trust me on that. Bit of an update. That worked out absolutely perfectly right there in that joint. We're on the road back to recovery, except for 2 things. You talk about a dilemma. Got 2 identical pieces right here. Perfect twins, but there's a huge problem. Each joint, where I glued it the first time, is in the exact same position. Same spot. Because the geometry's matched up perfectly. They're in the same exact spot. on both sides. That side and that side. Now what am I going to do? You're going to say, but roughly, you're looking at the same piece. It doesn't matter which one goes where, because they're the same exact piece. Good thinking on that. The only problem with this is that the joints are shifted ever so slightly from one another compared to the other side. It might throw off the balance. Let me go ahead and take a while to figure this out. I don't want to make the wrong decision. There's got to be a sign in here somewhere, a signature, a spot that matches up someplace else. And I think I see it. Hold on one second. That's it right there. Yep, you're looking at it like a puzzle piece. That spot right there, right in the middle, matches up perfectly with that right there. That's the first one. And that piece right there, excuse my sinuses, that piece right there matches up with that piece on the edge. Perfect. It stands again. Perfect. Just like new. You talk about having a productive night. After work? I don't think I've worked this much after work on my art in 12 years. Boy, do I feel so much better now that I fixed this thing. It's going to be quite the object when it's done. You should hear the new ideas I got for this thing. Well, course of the last 3 weeks, I think I've just been collecting the best leaves I can find. The most artistic, the most intact leaves that are just laying around. No, I'm not going to glue the leaves to this thing right here. No. I'm going to spray paint on top of them to leave the imprints, the outlines, in all different colors. So I'm going to lay it down, take it outside, lay it down, take a whole bunch of different leaves and just lay them on top. And then spray paint one single color. Well, with the exception of the bottom here. Bottom is not going to be touched. It's going to be brown and black. But the top, the branches, are going to be a combination of all the colors. That leaves, change to. Spring, summer, fall. And after I'm done with those, flip them over, orient them differently, spray paint a different color. Do that with about 5 or 6 different colors. Yeah, boy. All different angles. Try to fill this thing out right. It shouldn't take that long at all, really. Let's just hope I don't break it again. I definitely gotta be more careful. But first things first, I gotta finish spray painting the green on there. The base foundation is the green. And then once I'm done with all the colors and everything else, and you have all these neat leaf outlines all over the place, combined with all these different colors of the seasons. And I'm going to take a brown marker and a black one. And I'm going to coat the edges. All the fine line work to represent, I guess, futuristic looking branches, twigs. And then the final touches. Going to take mirror pieces. I don't know if I'm going to use circles or what. Might use a combination, but I think circles will be the way to go. Little tiny little circles you get from Michaels. I think Hobby Lobby sells them though. I don't think Michaels sells them. I could be wrong. It's been about 12 years since I had some. But take those and glue them into different locations. So when you're looking at it, you can see your own reflection, your own eye, as you look at the tree of life. Okay, if I break this thing one more time, I don't know what I'm going to do. Quite the object it's going to be. Really though. Let's go ahead and see if I can complete this thing within the next 2 weeks. The winter time is dwindling. Got to get down to it. See you later.